So next up, we're going to do this box animation that we see right back here. So this guy right there. So I'm over here in my animation tab now. I'm just going to go ahead and drop in a cube. And if you're ever wondering, how many times you create a cube after you delete that default cube, you're not alone because I do it quite frequently. So I'm just going to move it all the way back there. These are my exact settings I'm going to use. It doesn't really matter you don't have to be that precise. And we're going to just jump into our graph editor real quick, and we're going to insert a keyframe. Now, we're not actually going to do any keyframe animation. I'm just going to do I to insert a location keyframe. So we're not actually going to do any keyframe animation, but we need a keyframe to do some modifiers on top of. So what we're going to do is come down here, select X. I'm going to go ahead and hit N on the keyboard to go over to modifiers, and then we're going to do add modifiers, and we're going to do noise. So right out of the box, we'll see, okay, as soon as we start playing that, we see some animation happening, right? So essentially this noise is creating a pattern on top of that keyframe, right? But we're not actually going to have to keyframe it ourselves. So we have a couple different controls here. We have scale and we have strength. So scale is going to be how wide is it? So how frequent is the pattern? And scale is going to be how high is this, right? So one is going to be doing this, the other is going to be doing that. The exact values I'm going to use here is something like 200, 100, just to kind of get that thing really moving back there. And then what we're going to do is, this is currently on the X. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this using the copy modifier button right here. So we're going to just do location Z. So Z being this way. And then we're just going to paste that right there. And then all we got to do here is really just offset it. So right now, like they're on the same, it's going to be kind of moving in this weird non-random way where it's just going to be moving diagonally. That's just what happens when you apply the same noise pattern on it. So what we're going to do is just offset this something like 50. So now it's going to be a little bit more random. And then what we're going to do is simply limit this. So we're going to bring this down to something like, 50. So it's not so extreme in scale. And then we're going to want to make sure that it doesn't go below the ground plane, which is currently doing. So what we're going to do is add a modifier, and we're going to do limits. And there's going to be a minimum X that you see here, and then a minimum Y. What we're going to do is minimum Y, and then change the maximum Y as well. And the minimum Y is going to be something like 2, and then the maximum Y is going to be something like 10. And now when we play this back, we'll see, okay, now we have our animation there. So the next chapter, what we'll do is we'll start having this actually point at this automatically.